again this year, except, you know, eat breakfast.
If they have it this year.
Oh, because coronavirus. I was like, what do you mean if they have it? They have it every year. And then I was like, no.
The plague.
Plague usually runs through May. Plague will be over by then.
Plague will be over by then. Well, as you know, we were wrong about that one. Hello everybody, this is future Amanda right here, and I just wanted to put in a little disclaimer saying that this video was filmed a very long time ago. It was filmed at the beginning of March, right when we started hearing a lot more about COVID-19 and this pandemic, and there had been no quarantine or shelter-in-place order officially set out yet. So this is the last interaction I had with a friend before the quarantine went into effect. So this video was filmed in the very beginning of March, not filmed recently, so don't think we are breaking quarantine, we are not. And that's one of the main reasons why it's taken me so long to post the video, because I don't know if like now is the right time to post something like this. But then I started thinking that, you know, maybe it is. Maybe it's sometimes you just want to be reminded that like, hey, you know what? Eventually quarantine will be over and we will get to go hang out with our friends and be silly and play with makeup and just like talk about books, and that's like a thing that can happen again. So I figured I'd just post this video anyway, and then, you know, it can kind of just feel like we're all hanging out as friends and it might just be fun to have some distraction. So yeah, here you go, here's a video. This is me and Leanna just like hanging out talking about books.
I have brandy. Oh, I have mulberry brandy.
I don't think I've ever had brandy.
You want to taste the mulberry brandy?
Okay. Where are you? Oh my gosh. Oh, wait.
You love it? It's fine.
I love you too. No, I can't. Oh my God. Today at the Librarian, we're doing something a little different. It's raining.
So it's raining all fucking day.
I know,
okay.
But I didn't know. Okay, sorry. We are so...
That's actually pretty fucking good. Like, I just invented a cocktail.
I know.
Yeah.
We're fancy. So we've been like dicking around, but we decided, hey, let's film a video. This is Leanna from Leanna's Library.
Hi.
Hi. This is her new apartment.
This is Leanna's new library.
This is her new library.
Currently bookless.
Well, there's some books. But yeah, this is her new apartment. Like last weekend, I came over thinking I'm gonna help you put away things. Like I'm gonna put some cups away, and then it turns out
I had no cups.
Yeah, it turns out we were just building all of our furniture, and I came over with nothing but a seashell. So
I have things now.
Full chaotic energy. Anyway, we're gonna film a video. I happen to have makeup with me, so I'm like...
Because I haven't moved my makeup to my new apartment.
I am going to play with makeup today, and I get very excited about it, even though I'm not the best at it. I'm okay with like complexion. I'm like good at complexion and eyeliner, but like eyeshadow is like a whole other story, but we're gonna play with it.
100% sure you know more about makeup than I do, so...
Well, we're gonna fuck around. It's gonna be good. We'll talk about books.
We'll
fuck around.
Drunker as we go.
Anyway, let's do makeup.
Make me beautiful.
Make beautiful. So we have very different hair tones, and I brought the stuff for my eyebrows, which are much darker than your eyebrows. I feel like if I use my eyebrows, they're gonna like Groucho Marx.
No, I just feel like I'm gonna, because I was watching Schitt's Creek, I'm just gonna look like Eugene.
Okay, we'll figure this out. It's gonna be something. If you look terrible, it's my fault. So you have little to lose.
At my own house, so okay. Only all of YouTube will see this.
Only all of YouTube.
So go from no eyebrows to all eyebrows.
All of the eyebrows.
Being like fair-haired, I look more different with makeup than people who are brunette, because like I go from no eyebrows and no lashes to them existing, as opposed to people going from some to more. Like it's a starker contrast.
Okay, so yeah, so tell me about some books you're reading.
I I already ranted about Malice for like forever.
But you didn't rant on the camera.
I didn't rant on camera.
Okay, tell me about it.
Malice is the worst. It's like
we kind of have a similar skin tone.
Worst. I believe you.
Yeah.
I can't see myself.
I can't see myself. I think it's similar.
I believe you. I'll just wear a turtleneck and then no one knows what my actual
I
skin tone
think my skin tone might be a bit more pink than yours is, but
it's possible.
We'll blend. Anyway, Malice
is the fucking worst. Oh my god, everyone loves that book and I expected to like it. It's like Viking-y high fantasy.
You do like Vikings.
Yeah, so I have a very low bar for liking it. Like, you really just have to be like generally interesting and have a few axes and some horns to drink out of, and I'm happy.
You don't drink out of axes though.
So that's how bad it is, because I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are known for rant reviews.
I know, but like...
You do also read things you like.
Sometimes.
I think you just stick it out more. What were you saying about, like, if you're reading a book you don't like?
Yeah, like, well, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would DNF the fuck out of, like, half the books that I pick up. But if I've gotten halfway through a terrible book, like, at the very least, we're gonna get a rant review out of it, because you don't make a total waste of my time.
Okay. That's one way of looking at it.
But, yeah, it's the worst.
Have you read any books lately that you were, like, really digging?
Well, I like Heart's Invisible Furies, which I was also just telling you about.
Which is, like, completely the opposite book in the world.
It's, like, very recent historical fiction about a gay Irish man who's, like, born in the 40s, and he's in Ireland and he's gay, so it's exactly as depressing.
I'm like,
covered everything.
I rarely use a, like, foundation brush. I usually use a sponge, but I thought, like, sharing sponges would be gross because it's like a sponge, but, like, brushes are easier to clean, so yeah, hence foundation brush.
But yeah, I mean, a book about a gay Irish man in the 40s is exactly as depressing
As
and as sardonic as you would expect. But it's really, really good. But it's more like lit fic, which is not something I read that often.
It isn't. We did read, what's her face? Evelyn Hugo?
Yeah.
This 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is amazing.
Have you read Daisy Jones yet?
I haven't read Daisy Jones yet.
So
I'm a monster. I know. I'm assuming it's amazing. I know. I'm going to try to read it on audio because I've heard good things.
On a similar note, because the main character in Heart's Invisible Furies is adopted, and his adoptive parents make him refer to them by their first names and constantly tell him he's not a real Avery, that he's our adopted son. But his adoptive mother is like a writer that in her own lifetime, she like hates, like being famous is like the worst thing in the world as far as she's concerned. She doesn't want anyone reading her books. So after she dies, she becomes like one of the most famous Irish writers of all time. So like later in his life, when people find out who he is and who his adopted mother was, they're like, oh my god, like Maud Avery was your mother, because they like studied her in college.
Yeah.
And so like they talk on, and there's all these people coming up to him like, oh, have you read your mother's work? And they like reference some of her most famous books. And there was so much talk about Maud Avery being this famous Irish writer and all these books she wrote. I was like, is this a real person? Like,
is this a real person?
Seems like by the end of the book, I was like, I must have heard of Maud Avery, right? That's a real author. It's kind of like when you read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book where you're like, that's a real band, right? Right? That's a real movie star. No, I looked it up. Maud Avery is entirely a fictional invention of John Boyd.
There you go.
But I was like, I feel like I should read some Maud Avery books. They sound pretty legit.
Christine gave me these.
Quite like that.
They are Harry Potter wands.
Good. Harry Potter?
Yeah, they're like wands.
That's so cool.
Oh no.
Save the wands.
Because this is for concealers. I have to be more delicate.
Oh, what? Okay.
Okay.
What are we concealing?
You put it under your eye to brighten it.
This seems deceptive.
It seems deceptive.
Conceal, don't
Conceal,
feel.
don't feel. This is how you catfish people. Concealer. You conceal your identity.
I mean, honestly, sometimes when you see like people do like, get ready with me's, it does almost feel like you've been deceived for the entirety of you watching them, because without makeup, you would not recognize them.
I haven't done this in like so long with an actual brush that I'm like, how do I do this? This might be awful. I might do something terrible to your face and I'm sorry.
I'm fine with it.
Fun fact, if you don't have eyeshadow primer, you can use concealer.
What is eyeshadow primer?
It's like you put it on your lid, it makes your eyeshadow stick better and be more vibrant.
So when you said if you don't know,
like,
I don't know what it is.
Never.
I suspect I don't have it.
I suspect I don't have it.
You will talk about it?
I don't remember. I interrupted you with this.
Oh, catfish.
I've done
people looking.
thing.
Honestly, contouring is like fucking witchcraft. Like, oh my god, like
yeah,
it's insanity. You're wearing Poe socks.
I am. My socks have Edgar Allan Poe on them. They're polka dots. Get it?
I would. Yep. So funny.
I was watching a video about Edgar Allan Poe before I came over, so I was like, that feels appropriate.
Like, just like a book review or like a documentary?
It's just about his like mysterious death.
Oh yeah. You know, there's a John
Like you
Cusack
do?
movie about.
It's so bad.
It's so weird.
I saw it on a plane and I'm like, what is this?
I watched it on Netflix and like I wasn't paying that much attention when I started watching it, and I was halfway through and I was like, well, I've gotten this far. Like, but what even is this?
What even is this?
Also, whose idea was it to cast
Yeah,
John
okay.
Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe?
I mean, he wasn't like 40 when he died.
Yeah, but John Cusack
I know. He
from
was,
High Fidelity.
But
Edgar Allan Poe.
when I think about it, I'm like, Edgar Allan Poe like did some rough living. He's not going to be like a good 40.
He doesn't.
His 40's
John
gonna look
Cusack
50.
doesn't look like the fella on your socks. Is all I'm saying.
True. He doesn't look not like
Or
terribly.
even though
just
he's like
him.
much younger, like Benedict Cumberbatch would be more Poe-ish than fucking John.
He's got something like willowy.
Yeah, someone who looks mysterious. John Cusack doesn't look mysterious.
Looks like John Cusack.
He's the voice of Dimitri in Anastasia. It's not Edgar Allan Poe. It's okay, I caught it with my badge.
Fat cat.
There was a period of my life where anytime I dropped anything, my body's reaction was to put my legs together to catch it. Because like oftentimes this is where it was falling, but it didn't matter. If I dropped it over here, my body was like, we know what to do. Catch it.
It's like when you swing your arm in the car when you're stopping quickly.
What? Nope. Don't
Nope.
do that.
No. It started because I used to have my purse on my seat,
Oh.
and it would go flying every time I would stop. So it was getting like habit to reach down, and then I would do that to people, but I'd reach down. And I was just grabbing so many crotches. It was like a problem. So now I've learned to grab up, so I just grab titties.
Noted for future
People
contracts.
are a lot less alarmed if they're just their boob is getting grabbed. If you grab a vagina, like that's a lot.
I think a dude would rather have his chest slammed than his balls.
Just all of a sudden just grab your dick.
Well, hello.
Hello.
We have a very different car ride.
I don't know. I think this might be bad, but it's okay. We have different
I feel great.
I only have my own makeup, and I feel like we have different skin tones.
I feel like you should have some more to drink.
Eventually, it'll all blur together. So when you put all the creams on, you have to set the creams so they don't go running all over your face.
I'm learning so much.
Learning, teaching.
My creams have been understrained until this point in my life.
They run that way. You just get some powder. Okay.
Like baby powder?
It's a setting powder. I don't recommend using baby powder. I feel like that might not work. It might. Who knows?
Going for that porcelain look.
Just full grandma just beat that face.
Go powder my nose.
Literally. But this just makes your makeup like matte, and it like dries it out. Well, dries it off so it doesn't like slip around.
It's like when you wrote a letter with a quill and then put sand on it.
Sure.
That's my reference point.
Well, I mean, makeup is always named like very self-explanatory, like foundation.
Primer is.
Yeah. Well, primer, you need to put it down before paint. Prime the surface.
I don't paint things.
I don't make
I
things.
do not. It comes pre-made, pre-assembled. Eat it out of
We
the
made
bag.
all this furniture.
But again, it came with instructions, and it said put A to 3 and screw it in. Screwdriver not included. Like, I can do that.
We did a lot of devising.
I have to say that, like, putting together the fucking wardrobe that's in my bedroom that has like 6 tiny drawers.
That took all day. We were doing it for.
The other dresser. I did buy
Oh.
myself a like little one. That's like,
Oh, okay,
it
never mind.
stands up and it's like narrow with these teeny little drawers, and I had all these teeny little parts, and I was just like, why do I even need this thing? Like, why don't I just have a pile of clothes in the corner? That seems better.
That seems like a much easier.
Why am I
thing to
doing
do.
any of this?
What is my life?
Putting furniture together to me is like reading a really complicated fantasy novel, because there's so many like moments that have like they're dropping like hints about the world or about a magical MacGuffin, where you're like, what does this have to do with any of it? And then by the end you're like, and it all fits together in the here. That's what that hole was for. Like, this furniture, when it's assembled, is like the end of a fantasy book. All makes sense.
Lord of the Rings. When you've been, you're the Mordor is about to throw that ring in the fire.
Yes, it is like that.
Like that.
I
When
mean,
you
I was
close the
thinking-
last drawer, it
I
is
was-
complete.
They kind of already knew they were going to Mordor. I was thinking more like Abercrombie or Harry Potter books.
Where they
you're
just do
like,
shit for no reason.
Well, there's just like a magical thing that the whole time you're like, what is this for? Why is this here? And what does it do? And then at the end of the book, you're like, it does that! Oh my god!
It does that? And you're like, it didn't even need to know that.
If I had known it did that, I would have banged it up less. Didn't know that'd be the front of it.
So, by the way, this is my all-time favorite blush in the whole wide world because it looks good on literally everybody.
Well, what is that?
It's NARS and it's the color Orgasm.
Well, that does look good on everyone. Maybe it'll make the color look naturally.
It looks better now that I said it, honestly. Like before it was like, hello Casper. You were like pale.
I mean, I am pretty pale.
I know, but like I feel like I'm a different shade of pale.
I'm more of a jaundiced pale.
You're like, you have I think a creamier complexion.
It's very sweet, but I don't think that's true.
The Scandinavian skin.
That's why I don't go to the hospital.
They don't know that joke. That was an inside joke.
I cut the tip of my finger off a few years ago, and my roommate at the time insisted that I go to urgent care, and I was like, why? They're gonna do exactly what I just did. Flip it back over and bind it up. And he was just like, fuck. And then he was talking to his girlfriend later on the phone while I was in the room. He's like, yeah, she won't go to the doctor because she's Latvian. Like, no, I won't go to the doctor because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
In fairness, Latvians are cheap, so like,
Maybe
it
it was
also
accurate.
works.
So I did bring my fancy eyeshadow, which is the Conspiracy palette. I am not good at
This
eyeshadow.
does look like a magical MacGuffin.
I don't know how to do eyeliner. I mean, I know how to do eyeliner. Like, that's like my jam.
Those pretty colors.
Yeah, I know you like orange.
I like that too.
I like that when I used it.
You used it as opposed to all of theirs that you didn't use.
I haven't used like the yellow, but I've used like a bunch of these.
Go crazy, I don't care.
I don't know.
Experiment. The ones you're too afraid to use.
That's what we're doing. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So this might turn out cute. It may not. We'll find out. Your skin looks lovely though. Like if I do toot my own horn here, your complexion is lovely.
Thank you, it's all natural.
I cannot guarantee the eyeballs. It might be terrible.
Well, I looked pretty garbage when you arrived today. I can't possibly worsen that.
Well, you didn't look garbage.
I felt like I looked garbage.
You didn't look garbage.
You seeing my
You put on a
feelings?
bra and everything.
For you.
For me. I mean, you didn't have to for me.
Remain in sweatpants, but a bra has been put on.
Honestly, like I haven't got out of sweatpants in days. Cause like
I have jean sweatpants that I often wear to work because no one knows.
I
Like
love
you only
those.
know if like you catch sight of the drawstring, but otherwise it totally looks like jeans.
Yeah. I'm gonna do orange because I know
Blink,
you,
blink.
you love orange.
I do. It's a cute piggy too.
It might be terrible.
I don't understand why there's a pig on the orange one. The pink
Like,
one
it's
makes
like
sense.
it's Shane Dawson's like logo.
But why on the orange one? It makes more sense on pink.
There's another pig on the pink.
There's another pink. But pig there too.
They just do what they do. I don't know. This might be cute. I'm like optimistic. I'm never good at eyeshadow.
Don't go into marketing. This could possibly not be a disaster.
This might be cute, guys. Like, I think I make up for it with enthusiasm. I'm like, yeah, it can be cute. This might not be terrible, guys.
Much of high fashion are things that are ugly that you're told that are great. So,
Here we go.
like she's wearing a garbage bag, but you're like, it is high fashion. You just go to her. And you're
Chic.
Like, great.
So after we play with makeup,
Boondock Saints.
we're gonna watch the Boondock Saints.
I'm sorry, do people not know what Boondock Saints is?
I mean, it depends. Well, I think my viewers do. I think my viewers are all around my age. They probably
live in
will.
a world where people don't know what Boondock Saints is.
I think this came out cute, actually. I'm proud of myself.
When I was a counselor at a high school age summer camp, we had like a theme night. I don't even remember what the
Can
theme
you look
was.
up? I'm gonna do underneath your eye.
I don't
I'll
even
maybe
remember
cancel.
what the theme was, but me and this other guy who was another counselor, we dressed up as the brothers from the Boondock Saints. And we like, with Sharpie, wrote like Veritas and
Yeah.
what's the other one? Aquiness?
I don't remember.
I don't speak Latin.
Aquitas?
Sure. Or Yeah.
Aqueduct.
those things. And then we made one of the students drop down on his knees so we could take a picture
Oh,
with
God.
our hands behind his head, like the brothers. We were great counselors. Don't let me babysit your children.
This was before the days of Instagram, I'm assuming.
Oh no, we posted it on Facebook.
Oh, well. Oh well.
And the old people who worked at the camp thought it was great because they didn't get it. So they put it like
They
on the
didn't get
newsletter.
the murder shot?
Put it on the newsletter. Yep.
It kind of matches your drink.
That's what I want. I want to match the things I consume.
I think it came out really cute, actually. Do you want to do your own mascara, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I don't care.
Because mascara is like, people get weird about it.
I mean, it does feel like somebody's jabbing something in your eye sometimes.
Well, so far I've been very gentle, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been told, a pretty easygoing model.
Yes.
I don't flinch much.
It's your Viking blood.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite mascara in the whole wide world.
Is it also NARS?
No, it's Urban Decay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the color Perversion.
What are all the names of your makeup so dirty?
I'm not a librarian. Have you met me?
I'm wearing Orgasm and Perversion.
Perversion.
Mm.
It's just like the black is black and it makes my
I mean, the
eyelashes
mascara I
go.
use is better than sex, so.
That's also good. I like it too. It's just if I had to pick, I'm going Perversion.
I have naughty names too, is all I want to say.
Open. What do you want more color?
You look shocked. I'm like, oh gosh, what am
I'm a
I
little shocked because actually, like, I did a good job.
doing? Shocked.
I'm like, it's not bad. Open. Ooh. The very flirty.
The flirty librarian.
My protege.
So on brand for me.
My eyeshadow stuff I use. I mean, my eyebrow stuff is so
I was
dark.
gonna say, I'm pretty sure we just did my eyeshadow.
It's just so dark. It's gonna look terrible. You're gonna look like Eugene Levy.
Yes.
Actually, I broke it, so I have to be very gentle.
It is my life goal to look like Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. I'm gonna start with this lighter color first and see how this goes.
I would like my eyebrows to be root beer colored. I assume that's what that means.
Yeah. My bad. Well, it's closer to your normal hair color than mine would be. Mine's like espresso brown.
Although I have seen like people who naturally have the Legolas situation of pale blonde hair and black as fuck eyebrows just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Does occur.
It does. I tried to do that once artificially because I was blonde for a bit in my early 20s because I was like, fuck it, let's be blonde.
Did you have more fun?
I got hit on a lot more as a blonde, surprisingly.
When I dyed my hair brown, people started asking me for directions. And I was like, you don't understand. I don't actually know where things are.
Very
Blonde and
opposite
dirty hair.
like, reactions.
But it was weird. Like all of a sudden, everyone asked me for directions. I was like, this has never happened before. Why is this happening? Oh, it's there.
Yeah, I feel like this color is a little... I've already fucked that part up. Oh no, okay. I can always do one eyebrow good. The second one is like
I'm
questionable.
just wearing an eye patch. It's fine.
Shivers. Shivers is a character from Joe Abercrombie.
What if I did a series of like grimdark fantasy inspired makeup tutorials for like death? This is my I've been stabbed multiple times look.
You know what? FX makeup is popular. I would watch it.
How to look like you read grimdark fantasy? Just accurate.
It's just like, you know what? Okay, to my defense, your eyebrows are a great shape right now. It's just
Take a black and white photo and it will look great.
This is just a bad color.
Mix it with the darkest fuck stuff and then we'll be good.
Okay, yeah. You have like orange eyebrows. It's not
I
cute.
always wanted to be a redhead.
It's not cute. Okay.
I'm a ginger.
I can maybe fix these.
You should have just gone for like straight up gold and silver. Made them like shine.
The Spock one's straight out.
Like a fake creature.
Actually, this is working well.
Oh, alright.
Because you put like just a tiny bit of the dark stuff in. So like blended.
This little caramel mocha situation.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I never used to do my eyebrows. For like ever. And then I started doing my eyebrows. I'm like, why have I not been doing my eyebrows all these years? They're like so dope when I do them. Luckily, like, I have a lot of Italian in my body, in my makeup. They are thick eyebrows. Like, as a child, like, there was one. Like, I had one eyebrow.
The opposite situation.
There's a lot of eyebrow to work with.
Especially in summer as a kid, because like my in the sun, all my hair like gets bleached. So I would legitimately look like I had no eyebrows.
Well, they're sisters, not twins. Like, this eyebrow's better. If I have to
That's
pick.
face on me.
Yeah, this one's better. They're both like a good shape. They're just not exactly the same shape.
In fairness, I'm not sure that my eyebrows are naturally the same shape, so this may not be your fault.
Well, it's kind of my fault. I'm drawing them in.
Inventing my
I'm
eyebrows.
inventing them. You know what? I don't think it looks terrible. It could be worse. I've seen worse.
The craziest thing to me about having someone else do my makeup is like when you're putting makeup on yourself, you're seeing your face change gradually. So like by the time you're done, you're like, yeah. But like if someone else has done it and you haven't seen it the entire time, you went from seeing yourself with no makeup to seeing yourself and like, oh my god, I look entirely different.
What has happened?
It's like so much more shocking.
Yeah. Do you have any good fantasy recommendations? Because I go to Leanna when I want like a good.
Don't read Malice is a great recommendation.
Don't read
for
Malice.
your life.
But like, she told me to read Abercrombie. She's told me to read a lot of books, and I end up reading them. And I got her to read Tessa Dare.
Yes.
So we do share. But do you have any like good fantasy books that maybe I have not read yet? I haven't read Name of the
I was
Wind.
gonna say, you haven't read Name of the Wind.
I'm a monster.
You are a monster.
I'll read it eventually. I own it.
It's so fucking good. But don't listen to the audio. The audio is atrocious.
Oh really? Okay.
Don't.
I really had just asked you to talk. I'm like, I'm gonna do your lips. You can't talk. I know. I need to read that. I need to read it really bad, but I just haven't. I did buy you stuff from it for your birthday one year. I bought you that. Is it Voth? K-Voth?
Both.
Kavoth? I bought you a candle in his scent, whatever that is. What is it with boy scents? They're always like, they smell like sandalwood.
But I think with usually when I'm seeing Name of the Wind candles, because there's a lot of like tavern situations, so his candles usually smell like brandy and cinnamon and mead and like things like that.
Fair enough. Because like sometimes boy scents, everybody smells like sandalwood, and I'm like,
Or like sea salt and
yeah.
that.
You open? You did it so grumpy.
Fine.
Fine. You open again? Thank you. See, that one was like pleasant.
I try not to laugh.
I can't laugh either.
You're just gonna straight to my teeth.
He's gonna be like full crazy person. Oh no, I made a crazy person because I said it.
Full Lucille Ball.
I'll fix it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It wasn't that crazy. It was
Permanent.
like,
I'm gonna wear this forever.
this is actually a really long lasting lipstick.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna be on for a while. So you can eat it and it'll stay on.
Good, because they're gonna eat.
I know, we're gonna make food. As good as it's gonna get. Okay.
That's what I love to hear someone say about my parents.
Well, it's the best I can do. I don't think I can do any better.
Good enough.
Okay, close your eyes. Okay.
Is that hairspray?
It's setting spray.
What's happening?
Basically, it sets your makeup, so now,
It
like,
smells nice.
it won't, like, wash, well, it will wash off. It just, like, if you sweat, it'll stay on more.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know how we're gonna live our lives today.
We could do like full Irish river dance.
All day.
My neighbors will love it. Actually, my neighbor downstairs is not here right now. River dance. Let's do it.
River dance. Yes. I don't know what they do. They just don't do anything with their arms, right?
Yeah, I think it's like. And then the feet are just like. It's very natural.
We got our day planned. Okay, so I did your makeup.
Do I get to see what I look like?
You can see. I think it came out cute.
Big reveal, big reveal.
Big reveal.
I'm not over there.
I don't know where you are.
Oh, that is nice.
I think it came out cute.
Oh, you look pretty decent.
Yeah, the eyebrows are a bit intense, but
It's actually not that bad. Like, it's also just because I think, I mean, I usually, like, if I've done my makeup, then I have my eyebrows colored in, but I understand that there's nothing there. So, like, when you're
you
putting,
have eyebrows.
but there's, like, no color there, so, like, when you put any tint on them, you're just like, like, this is too much. You're like, or it's normal.
I needed a different color, because the original color was, like, red. And then this one is just like too dark, so I need like that middle, like a neutral brown.
Yes. I would go out of the house like this.
You look cute.
That's the standard.
I think you look cute. I think I did an okay job. Yay! Okay, so final thoughts or recommendations for books, because I realized we didn't talk about books a lot.
Don't read Malice.
Do
read Hearts and Invisible Furies if you want to laugh and cry at the same time. I've been reading a lot more lit fic this year because like fantasy, like YA fantasy, has been like actually like the fucking worst, and adult fantasy has been like surprisingly the worst. So like I finished the Witcher series.
Yeah, you gotta read Fate of the Fallen though.
Yeah, I really want to read that. I feel like
I read it and I think Leanna will like it, but then again, I cannot predict your reading taste.
I can't either. I thought I would love Malice. Like it's
Yeah.
some fucking epic fantasy that so many people whose taste I trust like love it.
But I see that cover though, and I'm like, that's not a Leanna book.
Apparently not.
But Fate of the
The
Fallen
fourth one has
is
like
sarcasm.
a Viking, like a Thor hammer on it.
Mm. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't think the font is right. It looks like, honestly, when I saw the book, I thought it was YA.
It reads like YA, but you know, for like an 11-year-old.
So like middle grade?
Yeah, but like the content is definitely for like a 40-year-old. So I don't know who the intended audience is.
I don't know.
Not me.
Not you. Not you, apparently.
There's like 2 women in it, and like they're like. Okay. Also, this is genuinely confusing. There's a brother and sister who are named Corbin and Cohen, and like for like a first quarter of the book, I couldn't remember. Like whichever name I heard first, it erased the other name from my memory. So I kept thinking, I was like, Corbin is a she? No. Cohen is a he? No. Corbin is a she? No. Cohen is a she? Like, because
Who are they?
they're brother and sister, so they're frequently in the same scene together, and just switching back and forth. And I was just like, is it a boy or a girl? And then like halfway through, I was like, they are 2 people. They're brother and sister. Okay, got it.
Fair enough. But yeah, you should read Fate of the Fallen. It's made of sarcasm. I think you'll
It's gonna be my jam.
enjoy it. Anyway, let us know in the comments down below. Did this turn out okay? Because like, I'm optimistic. I think it turned out cute.
This is my new look.
This is the new look. I'm like proud of my eyeshadow. I can do it on other people apparently, because when I do it on myself, it's just like a nightmare.
I bet that's not true. Unless your own harshest critic.
Well, like I'm not good at it because I get so much fallout, so I just get like all over my face, and I'm not good at like figuring out what colors to blend.
It's guess and test.
It's guess and test, yeah. But yeah, I think this turned out cute, surprisingly. And also, hey, what are you currently reading right now? Let us know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. Also, go over to Leanna's channel and check out her videos, because she is amazing and my wonderful friend, and she makes funny videos. and leave nice comments, because there's some like angry bros out there in the world who get angry.
If you're looking to make friends with angry bros, though, come to my comment section.
You'll find
might
them.
need some friends.
Yeah, so check out Leanna and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye!